Hello everyone, I am going to be doing a quick tutorial on how to draw, or how I draw, male anatomy. Now, I'm not amazing at this. I'm only making this video because I have a friend who wants to be a comic artist, so I'm giving a quick tutorial just in case. If you want me to make more tutorials, you can ask if you found this helpful. I'm not very good at teaching people how to do things, but if you just follow the steps of what I do, either on paper or on digital, either one works. But yeah, let's get started. So the first thing I usually do is a circle, of course. Hold on, let's make it a little neater. A circle. My voice cracked. And then I draw a line like this, it right through the center, and then two lines. This line is where your eyes are going to be, and then this line should be where your eyes stop. Now, to be specific, this is mainly for people who draw in a cartoony style. You can use this for semi-realism if you want to, but that's going to mainly depend on, like, rendering and stuff like that. I don't have a semi-realistic style. I have a very animated style. So then, you want to do a V shape like this. Like this. Now, no, that is not going to be the jawline. Do not worry. Think of this little point right here as an arrow. And hold on, let me erase this. It's bugging me. Think of that as an arrow. Sorry if my voice keeps cracking, by the way. I don't know why. My throat's been acting up. So then you draw a straight line like this. That's where your jaw's gonna end. At the end of the arrow, make sure that it's at the end of the arrow, by the way. And then, after you do that, start drawing the jaw, or like head shape, right around here. And then you can make it really sketchy if you want to. So just draw a straight line. Hold on. Don't do, if you messed up on this part like I just did, then go ahead and erase it. I was just fixing up the shape a little tiny bit. Now, on this side, if you did what I did, right here, you start right here, not the same place as the other side. So then, once you get both the sides kind of at an even area, or like in the same spot, the same length, after you draw both sides of the face, then draw a straight line to connect to the bottom of the chin. It doesn't have to be extremely straight, it just has to be straight. Now, you can erase the guidelines, but keep like the parts where it's showing you where the eyes should be. No, wait, actually no, just erase all of it. Just erase all of it and redraw the guidelines, because, you know, everything else is just to kind of help you know where everything is. You know what I mean? I don't know. So right here, and then you have the head. Now once you have the head, go ahead and split that in half, like that, and then draw where you want the eyes to be. You can adjust this to your style if you want, because what I'm doing is a very broad method, I would say. You could use it for any style. It doesn't have to look exactly like what I'm doing. And I'm gonna draw two lines because I like how it looks, and also it helps me keep track. And you don't have to do this part, but I like to do this just so I know where I'm gonna put the nose. Again, you don't have to do that part. You don't part. Dang, my voice is really giving up on me. And then after you are done with that, go ahead and draw the ears. The ears will go right around here, where the line is, the top line, if you drew 2 lines. Or if you only drew 1, then like right around there. And then draw kind of like a half circle. The ears do not have to be very detailed, and stuff like that, you know. They don't have to be very detailed, is what I'm saying. So you can either do a half circle, or you can do a little better like this, which is kind of like a sideways heart. Or you can do elf ears, like this. Or animal ears, whatever you want. But I'm going to do the half circle. You can do any kind of ears with this. And then after you've drawn the ears, now you have your guideline for the neck. Now, the reason I draw the ears before the neck is because the neck will look strange if you don't draw the ears first. Especially if you're trying to draw in different perspectives. So, like, maybe like right around here is where you start the neck line. And you want to keep the neckline thick since, you know, especially if you're drawing a muscular character, you want to make sure the neck is kind of, you know, thick. Oh, hold on. I didn't start from the right place. Right there. No, wait, that was the right place. My bad. So on this side, you want to start here or here. Depending on how thick you want the neck. I'm going to start from here, because I don't like how it's sticking out like that. So after you have that part done, you have the neck. Congratulations. So now you can do the neck details. Neck details are pretty easy. You just draw 2 lines like this. And you can put them in different areas if you really want to. It does not matter. Now, for the collarbone, let me think. Okay, collarbone, I'm trying to figure out how I should explain this. Collarbone's not hard, it's just hard to explain how to do it. So, kind of like a rounded spot, like right there, and then a line, and then another line going down. Like that. And there you go. Now you have the collarbone. Now, if you're like me and you accidentally made this a little too long, just erase a little bit off and kind of adjust it. Then you have, you know, you got some of the upper half done. I won't be doing a full body on this one, mainly because I don't trust myself to do a tutorial on that yet. After you are done doing this part, go ahead and add what is it called? It's not the shoulder, but it's the part before the shoulder, if that makes any sense. So you just draw 2 lines like that, and then if you are drawing a muscular character, I'll probably make a whole other video for non-muscular and more feminine, you know, body typed male characters, because I'm pretty okay at doing that. So once you're done with that, you want to start drawing the shoulders. Draw a rounded line for the start of the shoulder, and then kind of like another, it's like a little rounded but also a little straight. It's a weirdly shaped line, but it'll make sense. And then once you do that, draw another line going down and another line going down right there. Once you are done drawing those, I would go ahead and start on the muscles. Now, for the muscles, bear with me. For the muscles, oh wait, hold on. This is not even, I don't like it. I need to fix that. There we go. It's a little more even, but, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. But I'm only a tiny bit of a perfectionist. So, like I was saying, then you start on the chest area. So the chest area is straight line, straight line, straight line. Oh wait, no, bigger than that, bigger than that. You want to start right here, not where I started. So, a second ago anyway, right here. Then chest line, oh wait, chest line, chest line. There you go. And then you can do this. So you just draw 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, and then you can draw a nipple or whatever if you want to. I don't care. You can do that if you really want to. It's none of my business what you do. And then you can draw 2 lines just for some detail, right there. And then you kind of just repeat the same thing on the other side. So it's straight line, straight line, straight line, straight line, straight line, straight line. And then, boop. Then you have the pectorals. Pectorals? Yeah, I think that's the correct word. Oh my gosh, I just got a very bad foot cramp. That scared the living crap out of me. And then, once you are done with the pectorals, you want to move down to the abs if you're drawing abs. If you don't want to draw abs, don't draw abs. It's not required if you really don't want to do it. So, there's a invisible guideline right here. Don't actually draw that. Draw this, though. Draw this. This is going to be your guideline for the abs. Now the abs, wait, hold on. No, don't do that. No, don't do that. If you did it, erase it. Make sure not to do hard lines on this, because I will probably be messing up a lot. I probably should have said that earlier, but I will be messing up a lot because, I mess up all the time. So, it's going kind of at an angle, so you want to try and draw it like that. And then, bear with me, you will draw a line and another line, a line and another line, and another line. No, wait, hold on, that's too curved. Like this. Line, 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 line. Okay, what am I doing wrong? I'm doing something wrong. Line, line, line. There we go. Now, after you draw those 2 lines too, if you want, but that's just how I do it. After you do that, continue. Just continue drawing lines. You just kind of rinse it. It's a lot of rinse and repeating with the muscles. Oh yeah, and make sure to add this right here. This little muscle part. And then another line, line, line. You don't have to do a 6-pack. You don't. Hold on, let me fix that. There we go. And then once you're done with that, you can, if you want to, draw, what is it called? A belly button. I don't know why I had to think of what a belly button's called. There's the belly button right there. So think of it as like corn. At least this part anyway. Think of it as a corn, basically. So right here, let's just kind of connect these lines. Right here is where you will start the waist. Now the waist, you can make it very square, or if you really want to, you can one-piece character it. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can do whatever you want. And then after you do that, hold on, there's something wrong. There is something wrong. So remember, do not follow my directions, like, exactly sometimes. If you notice something off, you can go ahead and fix it before I realize I made a mistake. You do not have to actually, like, completely follow the, program. Is that the correct word? But I just had to fix that real quick because it was bugging me. And then after you're done with that, you want to start drawing your torso. You just, if I can draw a torso, dang. As you can tell, I'm not very good at drawing torsos. But that's okay. So once you have that done, we're erasing the belly button. We're only doing this much, okay? Because I literally can't do anything else. Hold on. Make this a little more blocky. Just a little bit more blocky. Or a little wider too. A little wider and a little more blocky. Just to add some extra depth. And then once you're done with that, go ahead and continue drawing the muscles. Now, muscles are a little difficult. I struggle with them constantly. I'm not a professional whatsoever, but, I'm making this because some people might want to draw like I do. So here is what it looks like so far. And the muscles are a little difficult. You can kind of see that I'm messing up, but that's okay. You're supposed to mess up. If you don't mess up, then good for you. That looks a little funky, but that's okay. And once you have the muscles drawn, if you know how to draw muscles better than me, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that for me, okay? Just, if you know how to draw muscles, go ahead and do it. But I'm not very good at drawing muscles. Don't know if you can tell. But once you're done with that part, you're pretty much done, at least for this part of the tutorial. Let me just move our guy down a little bit and enlarge him. Because I'm doing this now. And then, once you're done with that, you can move on to the eyes. Now, for eyeballs, me personally, I draw eyes kind of like, not necessarily like feminine, I would say, but like, it depends on what art style I'm doing, to be honest. Usually I do a, not semi-realistic, but like cartoony style. So, if you do semi-realism, draw semi-realism eyes. If you do a cartoony or like anime-like style, go ahead and do that. But I do this. Ew, I don't like that. I'm not doing that. I'll do this. I'll use my other style. So, now we're done with the eyes. And then once you're done with that, go ahead and move back to the nose. Now I'm gonna erase the guidelines for the nose. Okay, now we're gonna do the nose. So the nose, pretty simple. If you want to do a nose like this, do a nose like that. If you want to do a nose like this, do a nose like that. But I am going to be doing a nose like this. There are many ways to do noses. They are very, I don't know what to say, like, people, every single person draws them differently. Doesn't matter if they've practiced the art style for years, it's gonna be different from what they were referencing. But, so then, that's, that's kind of it, I guess. I mean, no, I'll do eyebrows. We're doing eyebrows. So eyebrows, for me, I just draw a line like that, then I go on with like this, and then I kind of repeat the same thing over here. Now it's okay for your eyebrows to not look the same. Eyebrows usually don't look identical, so it don't matter. They don't have to look the same, unless you want them to look the same. Then go ahead and make them look the same if you want. But I will not be doing that. So now we're gonna move on to the mouth. The mouth. Okay, so it depends on your style again. You can do the mouth in whatever way you want, but this is kind of how I do mine. At least when they're shut. So when the mouth are shut, I do something like this sometimes. Or if I want them open, I do something like, something like this. Oh. And sometimes I'll add in a tooth like this, or, I won't add in any. And then open mouth. Let's do an open mouth real quick. So open mouth is pretty simple, actually. It's probably the easiest one to do. You draw kind of like an orange slice, and then you can draw a tooth like this, and then make sure this rounds into the tooth, kind of, and then draw like this, and then draw the other tooth coming out like that. And then you can do the same on the bottom, except you don't have to pull the tooth in, or like pull a line into the tooth on the bottom. So then you have your mouth. Now once you're done with your mouth, you can go ahead and color it in like this, or you can add a tongue and then color it in. So I don't really like this, but we're gonna keep going. And I'm just gonna add my own little touch real quick, because it's how I want it to look. And after that, the mouth is a little too close to the nose, so I'm gonna adjust it. You can adjust things to however you want them to look. They do not have to look identical to this. Gonna keep repeating that. Now for the hair. The hair isn't too difficult, but here's how I kind of try and do it. So I draw a circle, like half circle like thing right here, and then I do the same on the other side, and then I go over like this for the hairline. And then once I'm done with the hairline, I do the hair part, so that you know where your hair is going to part at. And then after that, I make a new layer, or on paper, I just keep drawing. Then, after that, I start drawing the hair. Now for the hair is kind of weird. I'm not sure how to teach you how to do hair, but I'll try. So here's how I do it. Line. Line. Oh wait, no. Line. Line. Like that. And then I kind of just continue this. Like this. And then you can kind of branch out from there. It's just kind of like a bunch of triangles. You don't have to do this, but that's just kind of what I do. It doesn't look amazing, but it's not really supposed to. After all, this is a tutorial, so I'm not going to try my best. But I will try to explain how I do this. So then after I draw the bangs, I go ahead and erase the hairline, because the hairline is annoying to look at while you're trying to figure out if your bangs look good or not. So once you erase the hairline, that looks so bad. Once you erase the hairline, you can go ahead and move on. So from this hair ridge, or hair part right here, you can draw a circle kind of thing right there, or you can just kind of make it look like a butt. Or, hold on, am I on the right layer? Oh, I was on the wrong layer earlier. Move this down to where it's only on the head. Then, kind of make it branch. Then curl. Then curl. Then, there you go. And then, continue doing that. You just kind of continue doing the little swirls. And then once you're done with that part, you might want to kind of, what am I doing? Oh yeah, erase. No, you can keep that if you want to, but I'm going to erase it. Then you can erase kind of the head that's covering the hair. And then erase any part that needs to be. And then you got it. And it looks kind of weird, so if you don't like how the part looks, do this. Or, my personal favorite, do that. And then once you're done with that, you don't have to do long hair. You can do short hair. You can do whatever kind of hair you want. But I'm doing long hair, because I like long hair. Hold on. Then you can add that. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Never mind. And then I'm done. There's kind of how I do it. You don't have to follow the parts I show after the body. You can just follow the bodies. But there's probably better tutorials than mine. Unless you want to use mine specifically. But that's pretty much all you gotta do in order to do the torso and head. It's not too difficult in my opinion. I think this is a little bit beginner friendly, especially if you've just started practicing. This tutorial is not necessarily like for experts, not for people who have been practicing for years and already know like some anatomy but are just looking for tips on a specific kind. This is more beginner level, you know? At least for a tutorial. And if you had any trouble doing this, I'm sorry. I really can't do anything about it. I'm not a very good teacher. Never taught before. Surprising, right? Anyway, that's all for this. So, if there's anything you wanted to change about the drawing, you can do that. Style friendly.